hope you're well and I hope you're having a great day. So today's video, we're going to be on my 2004 TVR Tamora. So yeah, we're on my 2004 TVR Tamora. I've owned it for about 6-7 weeks now, and I'm really still just getting used to the car. My plan with this car is to do all the maintenance myself. So they're quite specialised, but I think I can find out the relevant information I know to be able to maintain the car myself. So the first step of that, I've never had the wheels off this car. So I really just want to take the wheels off, check the brakes, give it all a good clean up inside and just make sure it's all safe and secure, because this is a very fast car and I want to make sure for my own peace of mind that everything is spot on. So today we're going to take the wheels off, we're going to get it jacked up and we're going to have a good look around underneath. Okay, just a bit on the Tamora. I always get carried away, don't I? So I thought I'd get it into the garage and make sure I can jack it up okay. Find where the jacking points are, make sure the jack fits underneath. Successful. And then while I was there, I thought I might as well whip the wheels off and have a look. So I've whipped both wheels off. And the reason I've done that, didn't intend to do it, but like I say, I always get carried away doing things. I wanted to clean the inside of the rims. So these wheels are good. They are probably, I mean, from the outside they look absolutely spot on. I love these wheels, TVR Spider wheels. This one's had some damage on the rim which has been touched up. Doesn't look too bad, it's hardly noticeable. But while I thought I'd take the wheels off, I'll clean the inside of the rims and wax them as well, because they're so big and because they've got large spokes, you can see all the way through, and when they're covered in brake dust they just look naff. So a bit of alloy wheel cleaner on them, and then they've all been cleaned off inside, and then they've been given like a really hard wearing paste wax, which will just, once they're clean like that, it's very easy to keep them clean afterwards, because you can get a big brush which can get right inside the inner dish of the wheels from the outside. So once they're clean, they're clean. But as you can see, there is some scabbing on these wheels, and I'm contemplating getting them refurbed, but yeah, I don't know. Like I say, from, you know, even they look spot on from the outside. Few little areas of corrosion, tiny little bits of curbing, but yeah, I might get them done at some point. But while I'm there, I also thought I'd have a good look around inside the arches, and I am pretty impressed. So the TVRs, I think all TVRs from probably the, I don't know, Griffith, Chimera, and before, the S1s, S2s, they have a tubular mild steel chassis which is powder coated, and of course, being mild steel, they are prone to corrosion, because when that powder coat chips off, the mild steel underneath it corrodes. There's a good example there where the powder coat has split on the corners, and you can see there's just a little bit of rust just starting there. But this is a 20-year-old car. I've very quickly just given that a quick wipe off, because it's what's happened over the years. This chassis has been waxed a few times. All good, because it gives it protection and helps it stop corroding, but it just doesn't look very pretty. Now it's in its later life under my ownership, I ain't going to be going out on the salty roads and on wet roads and things like that. It's a fair weather car. So having the whole lot all covered in wax doesn't really matter too much. So I've just cleaned off a bit of that wax. I literally spent 10 minutes on each side, but it looks $1 million. And that's what it's like all the way underneath the car as well. It's just as good as that the whole way through. I thought I'd show you while I'm here as well, these shock absorbers, so they're coilovers. They are made by a company called Core. I think they're Core 1 shock absorbers actually. So this is a car set. It's got front and rear shocks on. They're fully adjustable for the spring and the damping. They are £2,000, those shock absorbers. So I've got the receipt from them. Previous owner got them £2 grand for a set of shock absorbers, so 500 quid each corner. I can't tell you what difference that makes because I've never drove it beforehand, but it does handle very, very well. Only job I've got to do on the other side, I have a split in the steering rack gaiter. Not going to do it now because it's getting late on into the evening, but that's a job for another time. But I thought while I'm here, I'll just show you underneath and how the chassis looks, and I'm very, very pleased. Other side is just as good. The battery in the car lives behind there. That's one thing I've just done as well. I've taken that cover off and just checked the battery, made sure the terminals are okay, all the cables are okay, there's no chafing or anything like that. So yeah, nice little job for an afternoon. I was just literally just checking I could get it jacked up, and obviously I can, with the other minis in the workshop as well. Obviously if I want to do the rears I'll have to turn it round. So now all I've got to do, get those wheels back on, torque it up, drop it down to the ground. Right, so the back of the car, obviously the car fits in the garage, nose is poking out, but there's enough room to work on it in here. Obviously if the weather's a bit naff, that's a bit of a problem. And jacking up the back is a lot easier than jacking up the front. Jacking up the front, you literally have to, I think it's the near side, the jack won't go under it, so you have to jack up the off side first, put an axle stand under, and that then allows you to get the near side up. You can't do it the other way round, as I found out because I let it down on the off side first with the jack on the near side, then let the near side down, and I couldn't get the jack out, and I had to go and get a scissor jack to get underneath it. But anyway, same job on the back. So we've had the wheels off, cleaned and polished all the outside of them. The outside was clean anyway, but we've done all the insides as well. And then I've used like Maguire's Ultimate Pace Wax. I've had this for years. That stuff is absolutely phenomenal. It's not that easy to put on and take off. It takes a bit of effort, a bit of elbow grease, as they say, but that will last on the exterior of the car at least a year. On the wheels, I'd say probably last a couple of years before you need to be applying wax again. Obviously, you know, you don't see the inside of the wheels fully. You see them through the spokes, and having the wax on there will just repel the brake dust a bit and make them easier to clean. On the backs, because we don't have big brake calipers, they're actually really easy to clean the inside of the dish of the wheels just with a sponge, because there's so much room. Again, a little bit of corrosion on the wheels here, but I'm not convinced I should get these refurbed, because just worried about getting them back the same colour, to be honest. They look pretty tidy. All round the car we got Goodyear Eagle F1s on the back. They're 235 4018s. They're a different size on the front actually. Can't quite remember. Can I see it on them? They're 225 35 18s. So you obviously can't fit the front wheels on the back and vice versa. Underneath, again, I've had a bit of a clean up inside here, just with a bit of gunk, bit of brake cleaner, not gone too mad. Looking absolutely brilliant. Again, you can see those core coilover shock absorbers there, fully adjustable, absolutely brilliant. But like I say, really pleased. That's a nice clean. The only dirt really on there was just where it had been waxed, and the other side just as good really. Bit of elbow grease, bit of cleaning that up. Just looks nice. I can see the fuel filter under there. That's going to be a pain to get to, and at some point in the future, it's probably, I think I've got about 3,000 miles to go until it's due a major service, but at some point I'll obviously have to replace that fuel filter. I might wait until it goes down for its MOT, and while it's over the pit, because it'd be much easier to do, I would think. Right, so let me get those wheels back on, and yeah, I'd love to take it out for a drive today. It's like raining on and off. I might just chance it and just go out anyway in a minute. Right, so I did take it out. The weather looked okay, but literally as soon as I got up the road it started raining. So I had the hood off. It wasn't raining hard. It was probably just about enough that as you were going along, the rain was just flying over rather than coming inside the car, so I kept going. The roads got wetter and wetter and wetter. Yeah, you've got to be brave to drive this. I mean, it's fine to drive in the wet, but you wouldn't want to try and drive it quick in the wet. It will wheel spin in first, second and third gear. Even even if you're sort of doing sort of 50 odd miles an hour in third and you boot it, the torque will start to spin up the rear wheels. Yeah, so not for the faint-hearted. And now it's all sunny again, typical. So I got it back, gave it a quick wash off. I don't know whether you can see the wheels, but obviously, yeah, they just look much prettier now that insides of the wheels are clean. All that chassis, you can't actually see any of it once the wheels are back on the car, but I know it's nice and clean. I'm sure the MOT tester will be impressed when I take it down there. So yeah, because the wheels are so open, yeah, you don't want the inside of them all grubby. So yeah, you got to drive the car with a bit of respect. I'm sure if you know TVRs, everyone will talk about the very long throttle pedal on them. It's got very, very long travel on the throttle, probably 2 or 3 times as much as you do on other cars. It doesn't have traction control, but that pedal is so long, you get to really sort of control the throttle very, very precisely. And if you feel the back start to slip, you can back off. You can control it quite well, but TVRs are well known for that. No driver aids, no traction control, but the very long throttle does help you control it. So there we go, I'll put it back in the garage now, and I'll have to do a driving video on it sometime. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing.